Okay, it's Friday afternoon. Just wanted to continue the discussion I had on the other day at home still. Um, the biggest things I can work on while I'm at home are the novel, which has a fictitious virus in it that has some interesting parallels to the real one. For example, for example, for a large part of the population, it makes them inept at doing certain kinds of sort of street smart things, and that affects the economy. And then it behaves differently as it progresses from one person to another based on the characteristics of that person. The real virus in the world today, what I'm a little concerned about is the issue of surfaces and how that can make it very important that somebody be fastidious and with their personal habits, even if they live alone. I'm not. I'm kind of a slob, and this could be a serious problem. Particularly with, and of course, as a senior, the latest information is that even young people can be at risk. So it doesn't make a whole lot of sense anymore to segregate seniors just to protect them, like they were talking about in the UK. And so, but anyway, you can put all this together, and you can imagine this could create a very dangerous situation for someone in my situation being allowed to live the way he wants to, because a the surface issue could mean that it's a lot easier for somebody to become a super spreader without knowing it, because could very gradually become immune to just micro exposures, and then go out and be positive, not have any symptoms. And to someone who lives differently, is not exposed to something continuously, would be a lot more susceptible. That's a theory. It's a speculative theory, but that may turn out to be true from just what I'm hearing. So that's one thing. The other things I can work on, the music, and I'm starting to work on that, the little cantata, and I'll have some reports on that. And then the screenplay, I'm going to revise the screenplay with all the changes that I made that I sent to Los Angeles. I didn't even remember, I did not go. And that's partly because of coronavirus. Back in February, I could see what was happening. I do have a little bit of feedback in that there is a general feeling in the film industry that a documentary about conscription might be a good thing to do, the selective service system. But now, of course, with the coronavirus thing, you would want to talk about coercion, government coercion, and a lot of things. And the biggest thing right now is quarantine and isolation and all these other issues, social distancing. So you can imagine making a documentary film or maybe a Netflix series or something about all of the problems where your liberty is by coercion is affected, and where there is a tremendous amount of risk to an individual person, particularly in my situation, because of external events rather than because of something that I did myself. Black swan events, foreign powers, or sometimes natural disasters, but particularly this one is kind of a mixture of nature and the behavior of a foreign power, China. So that's one thought.